We came so far from dreams. The path was hard for me. They thought we fall, you see. Well, look at us now, look at us now. We make it hot when we on the scene. Yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team. Yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around. You know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we. Tell me who better than we. We soaring to places you never could reach. When we walk in that spot, don't hear none of you speak. Shh, do you want peace or the peace? A king about to put you to sleep. Listen, my team is elite. You not even qualified to compete. He starving, he barely can eat. I guess that's why he always itching for beef. So I put him on ice and I told him to chill. Close your mouth if you can't pay for the meal. Making statements that you know you don't mean. Nice guy trying to act like he mean. Keep it a buck, keep it a bean. Attitudes will put you dudes in the beam. Isekai, he don't live in reality. Shake back, all become a fatality. Yeah, how you gon' hate when you mirror us? He think he a star, he ain't serious. X him out, we not on the same frequency. If you broke, you ain't hearing this. Work the screw, anime, that's how I feel, period. We winning, that's making them furious. We make it high when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we.
Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Mookie here, and I'm back with you with another new part of What If Asta Was a Monster Rider? This is part 6, and yeah, I'm back like what I said in that of my short schedule, and also in that of, well, a post I did last week. I'm on that of a Monster Hunter and Digimon craze right now. So I want to get this part out as soon as I can, after all. Also, a bit of a heads up, and I know a lot of people are probably going to be asking this. Am I going to add that of Monsties from that of Monster Hunter Stories 3? And I will say this now, not for Asta. Look, I already have that of plans for that of the Monsties I plan on giving to that of Asta after all. Since a majority of the Monsties I have for him are all from Monster Hunter Stories 2. And I don't want to ruin that flow and plans I had. But over time, I may add more Monsties from Monster Hunter 3 for that of those of the Black Bulls, some maybe from other Magic Knight squads, maybe a few captains, stuff like that. But Asta is completely off limits, and and Monsties are already selected. He will have that of like 6 Monsties, and that's it. So yeah, at any rate. With all that said, let's get the necessary recap after that, well, information. Asta, alongside that of his Monsties, are quite, well, getting used to their time at that of the Black Bulls. However, they haven't had their very first mission until now, which was to basically hunt for boars outside of that of the village of Circe, and basically pay off that of Captain Yami's debt for a bit. But in doing so, they end up facing against that of rogue mages, who will basically attack the village with working together as a team with the help of Asta's Monstie Ratha. They're able to defeat that of the rogue mages easily, even gaining that of their sacred heirloom, which is a magic stone, and also that of another monster egg. So we gotta wonder what's to happen next. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? It's been that of a day since that of the Circe incident mission, after all. As for Asta, he's basically been waiting for that of the, well, monster to hatch after all, and yet it hasn't even hatched at all, as he can't help but get annoyed at this, thinking, oh, why is it taking so long? It never took so long with that of Ratha, Score, and Volt. Why hasn't this one hatched already? As Asta getting somewhat annoyed at this, with Noelle saying, seriously, why don't you be a little bit patient already? It's not like it's going anywhere. With then Asta looking at Noelle saying, but still, I'm just really annoyed that it's taking so long. With Charmy saying, if it doesn't hatch, you think we can eat it? As the black-haired little gremlin basically having that of a watering mouth, basically savoring what the heck the monster egg probably tastes like after all. Within him saying, hey, back off, Charmy. You're not gonna eat it. As he holds protectively around it, at the same time, that's when his kinship stone begins to glow. With then Noelle noticing this, before she could say anything, that's when Yami soon came in saying, yo, good news. You guys got your paycheck, and better news. We now have that of a star. With then hearing this, Asta puts down the egg saying, really? We get paid and also what's a star about again? Before basically answering Asta's questions, he soon heads out of a board with tons of black stars before removing one and putting one gold star up on its place. With then Asta saying, oh, what's with all the black stars for? With soon Magnus saying, oh, that's because of the negative stars. With Asta having to have a look of shock saying, negative stars? I didn't think that was even... Before Asta continued and was cut off again saying, here, and your paychecks for that of the Cersei Village incident. Gotta get paid. Magic Knights have to put food on the table as well. With Asta taking the paycheck saying, all right, hey, I can actually give half of this to that, back to that of Hodge Village after all. Back to the orphanage. With Noelle huffing saying, I appreciate it, but it's not like it's necessary. With soon Magnus saying, what do you mean? Weren't you removed from the Silva family? But then Noelle basically flinching a bit before saying, you idiot. I haven't been basically disowned from the Silva family. I just been removed from basically joining the Silver Eagles. I'm still royalty, you idiot. With Magnus saying, whoa, hold on. Don't bite my head off, why don't you? With then she huffing, looking at the interaction, before then noticing that of Asta's, monster egg still not hatched, saying, hey kid, why the hell haven't you hatched that monster yet? With then looking back at that of Yami saying, huh? What do you mean? I mean, I'm surprised that you didn't decide to come back and hatch it already. Why is it still, not hatched yet? With us saying, that's what I've been wondering. I've been waiting for so long. Normally, as soon as I get it, like I did with that of the others, they would already be hatched by now. And I don't get why. With then, Yami basically blinking multiple times saying, you seriously don't know how to hatch your monster. With then, he basically pinching the bridge of his nose before then extinguishing his cigarette saying, fine, I'll teach you, brat. But I better not have to do this shit again. Within, us saying, sure. As he tells Asta to bring the egg before heading outside. With all the other Black Bulls members a little confused, wondering what they're going to do before they decided to, follow after them. Heading to the training grounds. Within, placing it onto that of one of the training targets, saying, you sure this is good? We don't have anywhere else to put it, so you gotta put it here. Within, he's saying, all right, bring up that of the stone on your wrist, raise it up, say these words. With then Asta doing what Yami says. Before then, Yami begins to basically go through his memories, realizing his memory is shit. Before then, having that look of acceptance, saying, all right, now repeat after me. Oh, sacred stone. Within, us saying, oh, sacred stone. Before both of them say at the same time, join rider and spirit in unbridled kinship. Bind thy untamed spirit to mine. When saying those words, that's when Asta's kinship stone soon begins to glow. And then, that's when the egg begins to rattle, shake, before you can hear a cracking sound. As then pieces of the egg begins to fall off, and soon a small little fang, a orange fang, it looks like, basically pops out. Before then popping out of being that of the monster's head, or should I say Monstie's head, as it looks like that of a little cat actually. However, it soon comes out of its little arms, as it being that of wings like that of Score and Ratha on its forearms. As looking closely at it, it has that of a mix of scales and fur across its body, with a snow white color across it. And even standing out is that of its big blue eyes and black with a black iris in the center as it roars, but almost like that of a, well, powerful roar, but it's not really too loud or too aggressive. Before then, Asta couldn't help but be shocked by this, as he basically having that of a look of pure and utter joy on his face. Before then, the little Monstie jumps up off that of the training post. Before then, extending its wings a bit, even though it's just been born, it glides a little bit before falling in the net of Asta's arms, saying, "This is awesome! Aw, who's a cute little guy? Who's a cute little guy?" As it soon basically squirms around a little bit before finding a good purchase, as it soon basically, well, grabs onto that of Asta's clothes as dug his claws deep into it, with Asta basically screaming in pain before finding purchase on its head. With then Asta realizing, my God, this thing is so heavy, and why is its claws so sharp already? With then Yami soon noticed this, saying, well, I'll be damned. I have never seen a monster like that before. Guess it's rare. Good luck, kid. As Yami soon walks away, but then I say, wait, you don't know what this thing is? Saying, nope, just know how to do is hatch them. Simple as that. Good luck, kid. Good luck raising it, and probably give it a name if you can. With Asta hearing that, as he soon basically tries to get that of the, well, little cat-like Monstie basically off his head, which is having quite a bit of trouble. Before then, that's when the others soon showed up, with Magnus saying, seriously, you got like that of 4 of these monsters now, and Captain Yami's so nonchalant about it. With then, Lux saying, oh, it looks so cool. You think it's possible to fight it? With then, that's when the little new Monstie looks at everybody. Before then, it basically curls right behind that of Asta on its back, with Asta feeling the claws. Before then, recognizing that it's kind of scared right now, saying, hey guys, think you could back up a little bit? The little guy's a little bit terrified right now. With then, Vanessa noticing this, saying, wait, seriously? It's already scared already? With soon, Asta getting him off his back and putting him in that of his arms, saying, seems like it. I think his little personality is a little bit, well, scared of crowds after all. As the cat-like monster soon basically curl itself in that of Asta's chest. With soon, Noelle looking at that of the little Monstie, saying, it's so cute. Within Charmy saying, so we're not gonna eat it? With Finro going, seriously, all you can think about is basically eating it? It's a living creature. Saying, food is food. You just don't know it yet. With that, Asta's a little bit wanting to keep that of the little guy away from that of Charmy as much as he can. Before then, seeing that of his Monsties from that of, well, Ratha, Score, and Volt. Within, Volt's getting a lot more excited as he runs over. Within, Ratha wanted to stop him, but Score, on the other hand, not really caring. Seeing the massive blue Zenogre basically rushing towards everybody, with Asta noticing saying, Volt, stop, sit! Within, Volt hearing that, as he soon basically goes to his hind legs and skids on the ground and hitting anybody from the Black Bulls. But then saying, God, he got way too excited than usual. As he's still looking like that at the panting dog of the, well, 4-legged dragon-like, well, monster. Before sighing, saying, going to that of his Monsties. Before then, that's when the little cat-like, well, Monstie soon noticed them. As then, he notices that of Volt. Before then, he soon jumps off that of Asta's arms, and then goes to that of Volt, is basically clinging onto that of his face. However, Volt not really, well, fazed by it at all, as he soon begins running across that of Volt's body quite a bit. Before then, finding purchase on that of his forehead, and soon growling before basically feeling himself at home, saying, Well, looks like he's taking a liking to you, Volt. You don't mind keeping an eye on him, won't you, buddy? Within, Volt basically panting and nodding over and over, before then roaring in that of joy and jumping around. Surprisingly, the little Monstie isn't even well phased by this, as it's still basically curled around that of Volt's head. With then Noelle saying, "So what the heck you're gonna call it?" With then hearing that, Asta thinking, saying, before soon going to that of Volt, telling him to bring his head down so he could basically grab that of the little Monstie before getting a better look at him, saying, "How about," as he gives off a smile, looking at that of the Monstie, saying, "Saber." Within, everybody saying, "Saber? Yeah, don't you think it fits?" With then, he points at everybody, as then, that's when the newly named Monstie Saber basically runs back up behind that of, Asta, before running towards back that of Volt. Within saying, looks like he's going to need to get used to you guys a bit. Within, Vanessa saying, "Speaking of getting used to things, Noelle, Asta, since you guys have your paychecks today, and I figure you're also going to need to find places where you can give that of your, Monsties, was it? Captain Yami calls them, some food. I think you might need to come with me." Within, both the royal and the commoner boy kind of confused by this. Before then, Vanessa saying, "Oh, Finral, could you please open a portal for me, would you?" Within, Finral, being that of the little simp he is, saying, "Of course, Vanessa." Using that of his spatial magic, he creates that of a portal for that of Vanessa, Asta, and Noelle to go through. Before Asta saying, "Wait, what about my Monsties? I gotta bring within soon." Vanessa saying, "I think it's best to leave them be for now. So I'm not saying this to be rude, but it's probably not a lot of people in the Clover Kingdom know about that of monsters that just yet. Best to, be safe than sorry." Within hearing that, Asta realizing, I guess so. That makes a lot of sense. Within, Ratha coming up to that of Asta, as he wants to tag along and keep that of Asta safe, saying, "Sorry, buddy. Gotta stay out here for a bit, okay? At least make that of our newest friend a little bit more comfortable around the others if you can." Within, looking back at that of the newly minted Saber, still basically clinging onto that of Volt. Within, Ratha realizing what he needs to do as he shakes his head and nods before walking off to that of the other Monsties. As Asta also walks into that of the portal, arriving into that of the Clover Kingdom capital, with Vanessa basically wanting to show that of Asta around after all, alongside that of Noelle. However, Noelle is aware of the capital after all, even though she normally lives into that of the noble and royal district in that of the capital. It's best to at least look around from here to here, from time to time after all. A good few minutes going through that of the, main marketplace. Before then, Vanessa shows them that of a so-called abandoned alleyway with a dead end, with Asta a little confused on why they're here. Before that, of the pink net basically walks through that of a wall, with catching both Noelle and Asta completely off guard for a bit. Before then, she's saying, "Come on, this is the place I wanted to show you guys for real." As she goes back in, with the two look at each other before walking through the wall itself, with Asta, trying to get his footing, and Noelle also figuring out an invisible wall barrier. What is this place? Within, Vanessa straightened out her hair, saying, "Welcome to the black market." As seeing that of tons of stalls and a lot of weird but also somewhat affordable things, actually. Within, I say, "Black market? Wow, a secret market inside of the capital. That's so cool." With Noelle a little bit skeptic, saying, "Seriously, the black markets? I've heard about this place. Isn't it filled with that of illegal stuff?" Within, as Vanessa continues walking, with the two following after her, saying, Well, technically, yes, but the black market is mainly for those of, magic knights who come from that of, commoner backgrounds after all. For affordable and good stuff that can help you improve that of your combat abilities on missions after all. Like magic items, equipment, stuff like that. Even resources too. But be prepared to basically offer up a arm and a leg for it after all. With then, Noelle wanted to say that that's not a problem before realizing, thinking, probably so, but still, I don't think it's necessary for me to be before then. Vanessa saying, however, you could find that of magic items that could be useful to help you improve your magic control. Within hearing that, Noelle realizing, when you put it like that, no wrong with just looking around, isn't it? As for Asta, he's already quite excited about everything that he sees in the black market before even noticing that of Magna in the distance, as it almost sounded like he's about to basically, gamble all his, paycheck away after all that he just got today. With even Vanessa and Noelle noticing this, saying that it's best to let him basically, fail on his own terms after all. No reason for them to get involved. At the same time, that's when another magic knight appears saying, I shouldn't expect anything less from some scoundrels of the Black Bulls to be here too. With then hearing that voice, as it being familiar to Asta, but he can't put his, finger to it after all. As he soon looks, seeing the same guy from the Magic Knight exam, who tried to humiliate that of Asta, the blonde-haired douche, Seiki, with us saying, hey, you're that, who are you again? With then, seeing as the blonde dumbass couldn't help but be completely shocked by that, say, you don't remember me? Don't you remember you humiliated me, basically demoralized me during the Magic Knight exam, but yet I was able to make it into that of the Green Mantises, unlike you who became part of that of the lowly Black Bulls squad after all. With then saying, should I care by any chance? With then, still completely caught off guard by that. With then, Noelle saying, Asta, you know this guy? With then saying, oh yeah, he was during the Magic Knight exam. I fought against him, I think. As Seiki wanting to, retort before noticing both Noelle and Vanessa as he soon basically moves past Asta, trying to flirt with that of the two ladies. Within, both of them with a deadpan look, saying, not interested, sorry, you're not my type. Shut down instantly without even getting a chance. Before then, hearing in the distance that of a, old lady saying, help, somebody stole my purse. As it being that of a man in a cloak who's moving past everybody in that of the black market. Within, Asta saying, oh no you don't. As then he was about to chase the guy, however, he brings out a knife before then throwing it past that of Asta. With Asta basically dodging out of the way, however, that was exactly what he wanted, as because he's using that of a magic item, being a teleportation knife, as it even moves past that of Noelle and Vanessa being caught off guard. Before then, Asta was about to run after him, before then Seiki already ahead of him, due to that of his new magic spell being Iron Creation Magic Mobile, as it looks like that of a discounted bootleg scooter, actually. With Asta annoyed by this, as soon as he was about to basically call that of Ratha or any one of his other Monstie, that's when he realized he doesn't have any of them on him right now or nearby. As for the first time, he feels somewhat, conflicted not having any of his Monsties, deciding to put that aside and just continue running after all. As both of them begin to try and catch after that of the thief, with the thief basically teleporting from place to place before then reaching out of the rooftops. Asta deciding to try and jump up as high as he can, which nearly cost him to fall off that of the rooftop tiles. However, that's when Seiki actually caught up with that of the, robber, as he couldn't, within basically knocking him over with that of his, creation, with that of his iron creation. And then as he's basically boasting, saying that no common thief would basically get in the way of any magic knight, and soon was about to get that of the, well, purse before soon getting stabbed in the foot. With here seeing that, he soon could help but scream in that appear and utter Bloody Mary, almost looking like he's screaming that he's going to die, before soon feeling weakened to the point thinking that he actually is dying now. With Asta catching up, realizing that Seiki's on the ground, seeing that of the, well, purse snatcher getting away again, with soon Asta deciding to, well, bring out that of his anti-magic sword being the Demon Slayer sword, before soon looking for the perfect trajectory, before then throwing that of the sword outward, right in front of that of the purse snatcher, as he can help but be completely caught off guard and shocked by that, before Asta running as hard as he can, before then tackling the guy to the ground, completely knocking that of the wind from the guy's, well, chest, and completely slumping down to the ground, is then say, ow, the hell. But then Asta taking a deep breath, before then grabbing that of his sword and saying, you know, I wasn't for sure if I was able to catch you, but honestly, I'm glad I did. So, next time you think about basically stealing from innocent old ladies, within raising up that of the Demon Slayer sword, saying, wait, hold on, we can talk about this. Remember, this happens to you. As he soon slams that of the flat end of the anti-magic sword on the guy's head, basically causing him to completely be knocked out and soon slump to the ground, passed out from that of the, well, skull injury. Within, soon Noelle and Vanessa now show up, noticing that, as they basically tended to Seiki for a bit, before Asta giving off that of a powerful battle cry. With then, soon Vanessa saying, you know, I was actually kind of worried, given that he, well, hesitated for a bit back then. That I think he relied way too much on that of his monsters, but I think he's going to be okay. Within, Noelle, seeing that of Asta as well, trying to psych himself up and encourage himself in victory, she can't help but basically blush at that of the, well, short, spiky, anti-magic sword user. Before then, blushing, saying, what the hell am I thinking about right now? No time for that crap. As Noelle shakes her head, trying to get the blush and calm herself down. With then arriving back at that of the, well, black market, giving the purse back to the elder lady, saying, thank you, young man. All of you, truly, you are truly amazing. But then I sang, no need to thank us, ma'am. Just doing the duties of a magic knight, that's all. But then saying, yours seem like that of a good young man. I hope to see you make a name of yourself in the future. As she soon walks away, within, Vanessa saying, wow, you know, usually those people who basically see us, the Black Bulls, always basically, well, pushes us aside or don't even think much of us. You really did quite a bit of something, Asta. I'm impressed. Within, us saying, shucks, thanks. As he gets quite embarrassed with a big goofy smile on his face. Within, Noelle couldn't help but also smile at looking at Asta smile. However, leaving that of the black market is the same elderly lady. Before then, her figure begins to change into that of a bright light. Before soon, seeing that of a man, looking at least in that of his late 30s to early 40s, actually. Within, saying, quite a bit of talent you have there, young man. And not only that, within, remembering that of the stone on Asta's wrist, saying, and a kinship stone at that. Seeing that of the figure, as he looks like he's wearing that of royal to noble attire with a big, well, red fur cloak with tons of medals and medallions around him, and short, blonde, spiky hair. Within, as he can help but smile, saying, Asta, you are quite interesting, young man. I'm looking forward to what you can do in the future. Before then, soon, something materializes beside that of the man saying, "Sir, where have you been? You have several duties to fulfill and finish." Say, sorry. Looking at the person who basically is, cornering and yelling at that of the man, being a young man with that of a, bowl cut hairstyle, which is blue. Sorry. Also, I think I have a bit of a task I want to do. I want to send out of 2 Magic Knight squads to handle it. What task? Within him saying, the latest dungeon that has appeared. 2 squad members from 2 completely different Magic Knight squads. Within saying, huh? Who do you have in mind? As the blonde-haired man was basically preparing to say what's on his mind. Back at that of the Black Bull's hideout, as Asta arrived back, he soon noticed that Saber has actually grown a lot bigger than he originally was, as then the basically large saber-tooth flying cat-like dragon basically lunges towards that of Asta, before then licking him over and over, saying, Hey, I'm all right, I'm right. Saber, stop, and how the hell are you this damn big? As then, Noelle can help but say, wow, he's gotten bigger. I didn't think he would get that big. With even that Finro saying, honestly, I'm kind of glad that you showed up, Asta. That giant-ass cat basically mauled almost half of everybody. With then, Sue, as looking around, seeing that the hideout is somewhat in, disorder. With then, seeing that of Ghosh, who basically looks like he's about to basically murder somebody. Especially looking at that of Saber, saying, that damn bastard nearly ripped my picture of my precious Marie. I'm going to skin that damn cat alive. With Gordon whispering, trying to calm down that of, Ghosh saying, please calm down, Ghosh. It's not that bad. With Gray in the background still transformed and basically puffing out smoke, which people cannot understand what. Before, stop licking Asta and then begin to curl around that of Asta actually. With then saying, sorry everybody, I'll make sure to discipline Saber properly, promise. With then soon, Yami saying, whatever. Monsties have their own way of doing things, and personalities too. You can't always control everything, but you can at least make sure that they listen to you a lot better. Your other 3 Monsties listen to you quite well. Honest. But then I was saying, yeah. Well, I've had them ever since I was a kid, Captain Yami. And besides, I didn't think that they would grow this big. It only took like a month before they basically, reached the size that, Saber's in. But then, basically raising an eyebrow saying, wait, you have no idea that your Monsties could reach that big? Saying, no? As then realizing, how long did it take them to grow? Saying, a month? Then realizing, oh my god, this dumbass. He screwed up that of a Monstie kinship ceremony. Within looking back at that of, the others being Ratha, Score, and Volt, realizing no wonder those things are way larger than usual. And only half of them are actually willing to listen to him, especially that of the Astrolox doesn't even, that close to him, unless it wants to be. Damn, this kid really is a newbie and has no idea what the hell he was doing at all. He's lucky that they even listened to him to begin with. As Yami was about to say something, that's when he gets that of a magic letter. As he realizes who is it from, as he knows the crest all too well, as he opens it up, before then saying, hey, Noelle, Asta, I got a mission for you directly from the Wizard King himself. Within, Asta hearing that saying, wait, seriously? The Wizard King is giving us an order? A mission? I am so hyped. What is it? Within, Yami begins to explain that of his next mission. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. So, honestly, this was mainly to focus on that of Asta's newest Monstie, actually. And I kind of blitzed through that of the things during the black market because, if I'm going to be honest, Black Clover never get as good as it is until after that of the, hidden dungeon arc after all, because honestly, the pacing is really, really bad and boring. And always doing these what ifs around that of Asta, it kind of grates on you for a bit. But even so, gotta keep on doing what I'm doing. Also, I hope you guys enjoyed that of Asta's newest Monstie being a Baratheon, actually, since you guys voted for it months ago after all, so yeah. But don't expect that Baratheon to, well, get some action ahead anytime soon. He's still a newly hatched Monstie and needs to gain that of more experience and be, well, closer with that of Asta after all, so yeah. At any rate, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification to get my videos uploaded to the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, gaming channel, other channel, side channel, Patreon, and Cash App. All link in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Leon Mookie, signing out. Later, guys. Hope you all take care. Take it away, Shiro.
Hi, everyone. This is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!